I feel called again to speak about frequency, but in a slightly different way. I've been doing some chanting and practicing some mantras, and I was doing that last night and set up that little collection of things that you can see on the video with natural things along with candles. And I just love how it feels like a living prayer when we're sat in front of something that looks so beautiful. And I was feeling into the energy of that and the kind of organisation of those parts that come together. And it got me thinking about how we are all different, as we obviously know, but how each one of us is a unique part of the jigsaw puzzle that is essential to that whole jigsaw. And we're not all meant to sound the same, but each of us is a unique note in a much larger song. And our voice is that sound that is transmitted into the world. Obviously, we transmit our energetic frequency, but our voice is a very powerful transmitter of sound. And in order for that voice to be clear, the body as the instrument also needs to be clear for that to happen. And after doing mantras and sound work, it really does shift the whole body's energetic frequency. It's like our voice naturally communicates with the cells of the body, and the whole body then comes into harmonic resonance like an orchestra does when they tune up. And obviously, if an instrument has been cared for and cleaned and kept safe and looked after and loved, it's might just need tune a little bit, but it's in the perfect condition to be played. But if it's dusty or clogged or broken, then even the most beautiful note becomes distorted. And I feel like that's a bit of a metaphor for the journey of life, the things that we go through. We chose to have this experience where we forget our true frequency. We come in as our true frequency, and then we have all of the distortions and the overlays of the conditioning, expectation, and the survival strategies that I've talked about many times before, and the programming that was never truly ours, kind of laid like layers of dust on top. And the sound is then kind of muffled, not quite as it was, but distorted. And that's the game that we chose to play, so there's no blame or anything there with that. We chose to play this game so that we could remember who we are and we could find our voice again, which fits into the theme of this playlist that I'm creating on YouTube, which is From Void to Voice, which has been my journey. And for many of us, including me, there's a remembering that's happening, and it's a call to clean the instrument, so the body, but also the energetic field, to clear out all of those old patterns and beliefs and the things that do not belong, and to create the perfect environment for that sound to come through again in its authentic tone. And talking about authenticity, when people talk about being authentic, this is one way to understand it. It's not something that you become, it's just something that you uncover. It's a delayering. So when the overlays fall away, as we do that inner work, and that kind of burns off, if you like, our original frequency is free to move again. Feels safe to move again, feels safe to use the voice in a powerful way. And each of us carries something unique within our frequency, in our voice, in our energetic field. And I see that as codes that just naturally help others remember their own true sound, or to start that journey of the remembering of their own true sound. And just like in an orchestra, when one instrument begins to tune, then the other instruments begin to calibrate to that sound and they all tune. They all sound different because they're different instruments, but they all sound harmonious together when they're tuned to the same note. And that's resonance. And this is something that I've been reflected on a lot recently. And today I've got a toning lesson with a lady that I know really well. And she was a musician. And I'm not somebody who's musical in the classical sense, but I've just been guided here anyway. And I thought she'd be the perfect person to do this with. And with the work that I do, I know that the body responds to our own voice in a way that somebody else's voice isn't quite the same. It's still quite good, but it's not quite the same as your own voice when you're doing meditation or mantra. And it's about the transmission and the all of the parts of the body can come into resonance with that transmission. And last night I was chanting while looking at the candle mandala, and it just really felt like a living prayer. And it was a reminder, as I said earlier, that sound, intention and presence move energy. You feel different after doing that, not by forcing, but just by being with that sound, your own sound, especially when you're looking at something really beautiful whilst doing that and gazing into that. It gets you into a nice, lovely flow, meditative state. And that's why mantra, chanting, humming, singing, even gentle toning are such powerful cleansing tools for the physical body. And the sound moves through the body, it loosens what's stuck there, and it reminds the nervous system, most importantly, what coherence and safety feels like. Your body recognises your voice. And this is part of the mission that many of us are on right now, which is to remember our authentic sound, our unique frequency, not to become louder and to push people to understand, not to convince, but to be clearer and to resonate and to be confident with that sound, so that your true sound can move through the world and quietly help others remember theirs. And that's more than enough.